been awarded as Nag Vachastri. Sir, I would like to request you for the lecture, and we will be glad to listen to your insightful deliberation.
Revered guests, revered teachers, and respected scholars. I'm not going in detail what is history and what is myth and what is cinema, but in my own encapsulated language, I would like to cast some light, some shades on this topic given to me in this session. In India, history is not history. It is itihas, unlike to history. This is not the description of events chronologically arranged, but in itihas, explained vision is history in an appropriate language. Here in Bharatvarsha or in India, poets are seers. A seer is one who sees vision, and he has the ability to convey the same vision in an appropriate language. And that expression becomes history. That expression becomes myth or mythology. Mythological came first, then myth. In India, this is Akhyan in Sanskrit. But what our teachers explained to us, unlike Levi-Strauss and Francois Lyotard and other postmodernists, the explained vision means the explained mantras, explained light in the language which is not esoteric, which is perspicuous, easily communicated to all of us. So the vision that matters, and when we don't explain, when we are not able to explain the vision, we call it myth or mythology. Because language is not appropriate or apt to us right now, and all languages explain for the mythological stories or gathas is twilight, and you know what twilight means. So twilight language we find from our Vedic period or from the very essence of Veda till date. But the problem for any seminar or problem for any research is how to decipher, how to delve into the language. So we have hermeneutics. When the language of the Greeks was not Greek at that time, hermeneutics were those who used to, like Devdut, they used to convey the message of God. Then this term became obsolete, and in 19th century European English literary criticism, it reappeared as how to read a biblical text, how to read an ancient text. So hermeneutics, Mimamsa in Sanskrit, like myth, mithak in Hindi, there, what is the point, what is the vision behind all mythological stories, all narratives, and that is inherent in all narratives. For example, through the eye of hermeneutics, through the eye of Mimamsa, we find all mythological stories are scripted in dialogical form. First, dialogical form is the dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna, dialogue between Yam and Nachiketa, dialogue between Yagyavalkya and Maitreyi, dialogue between so many persons. So this dialogical form means our questioning mind and answering mind. The dialogue between our own questioning mind and answering mind. So Arjuna is our questioning mind, Krishna our answering mind. Nachiketa is our questioning mind, Yam is our answering mind. So if Gargi or Maitreyi ask any question to Yagyavalkya in Upanishads, so she is our questioning mind and Yagyavalkya replies that is our answering mind. Sanshyatmika Shakti and Nishyatmika Shakti in our Agama traditions. So this is the first thing linked with the vision of the seers that we find through hermeneutics. Second is everything, all the mythological stories descend from a divine status, or all mythological stories from India have a divine beginning from Swarga. Bharat Muni sees first praying Swarga by dint of or by the virtue of Brahma. So divine beginning means the state of consciousness. We know there are two phases of consciousness, that is transcendent and second is immanent. So transcendental consciousness is Swarga. So we have this divine beginning in all mythological stories. By the virtue of hermeneutics or Mimamsa, we find. Third is stylistics or the Riti. Stylistics in English linguistics or language is the same as Riti. We know Riti Kal, Riti Kavi, Riti Kavya. That's very well explained by Vidyadhara Mishra. It is so many pages. Fourth is the language, the twilight language. It seems that it's very mystic and coded, but we have decoded that from the Vedic language till Kabir and Gorak. That is another aspect we find. Then we have multiple narratives. Multiple narratives means if we start reading Mahabharata, we find two seers are talking about something, about two other seers. And that two other seers, they are talking about another two seers. So, Vaishnav and others. Then they are talking about the son of Krishna and that. Then we enter into the domain of Mahabharata, this main story. And Mahabharata is not the story of good winning over evil, but the message of Mahabharata or Ramayana is how we can go beyond the good and evil. That is the only message from Ramayana and Mahabharata. So these are the points, and we can find so many other points from the eyes of hermeneutics. Because if we don't decipher anything from the past of history, because history it connotates, it sounds like from the past. But vision is always timeless. It is beyond the stream of past, present and future. Vision is always beyond the river of past, present and future. It never talks about mind. It always talks about Hridaya or heart or Hridaya Sambhav. So, if we cannot feel the essence or the vision of any myth or mythological story, it is, I think, meaningless or insignificant for me, for the speaker. That's why now in English literary criticism, one more thing is added in hermeneutics, that is deception theory or deception aesthetics. How we are going to understand the essence of the story or mythical story in this present now, in this present day. This is aesthetics, deception aesthetics. How we are going to receive, how are we going to receive the essence of that vision. So these are some points I stated here before talking about the twilight cinema in an encapsulated version. Right? Now, we know we have commercial cinema and art cinema. Commercial cinema is okay. Art cinema is an insignificant term or a meaningless term because everything encapsulated or encircled in this area, everything is art. Writing screenplay is an art. Cinematography or camera work is an art. Editing is an art. So from the very idea to the premiere of the cinema, everything is an art. So art cinema is an absurd term, not the absurdity of Samuel Beckett or Varanasi. Right? So we have two cinemas. One is reality reproduced, where a filmmaker feels anything appealing from the society. He reproduces in the art form cinema, that is commercial cinema. Commercial cinema of Manmohan Desai and commercial cinema of Satyajit. Reality reproduced. Any film based on a book, again reality reproduced. Even Pathir Panchali based on Vibhuti Bhushan Bandhavai. A commercial cinema, low budget commercial cinema. Another type of cinema is based on the very art of cinema, that is cinematograph or cinematography. A cinematography waits for its poetry. So we can link the seer as poet, as the poet in cinema. They try to put forth or flash forth, they try to flash forth, like sudden flash of consciousness, his own poetry through this cinematographic art. In India, we are still waiting for that kind of cinema. This cinema is termed as classic cinema or poetic cinema or now twilight cinema. So in India, one film I can remember here, that is Kanchan Sita. Kanchan Sita or Kanchan Sita by G. Arvind. That is one good example or replica for this topic, myth and mythology. And another films are, if you wish to go through, that is Seventh Seal by Ingmar Bergman. Bergman is from Sweden. Then Stalker by Andrei Tarkovsky. Tarkovsky is from Russia. And then third is Krzysztof Kieslowski. Kieslowski is from Poland. He was Polish. So Bergman has so many films, but in this reference we can go through this film Seventh Seal and Persona if you like. Then second is Stalker by Tarkovsky. Then the Decalogue based on 10 Commandments by Bible. created by Dostoevsky, and other film is Double Life of Veronique. After the three filmmakers, we can have some more young film directors like Kim Ki-duk from South Korea and Jazzy Sef in the lineage of Tarkovsky in Russia. I think most of you are not familiar with these names. So my request is, if you go through, you can have a perspicuous language of understanding cinema or the essence of cinema, inserted with the vision exactly as the vision of our Indian poets or Bharatiya Kavya Shastra. So here on this dais for this seminar, I am thankful for the organizers, the entire team, Purnima ji and Somini ji and others, Meena ji, Miss Head of the Department, Kamala ji. So I am familiar to this premise and place. So my request is, if you are able to have some time for this particular kind of cinema, which is twilight cinema or commercial cinema, not commercial cinema, and not art cinema, but classic cinema, then these are my suggestions, and these are my views, not my views, but the vision, encapsulated in vision for the seers, to respect the seers. Because when we deliver the term myth or mythology, we look at the past. But hermeneutics or Mimamsa, or vision of Mimamsa, or the reception theory helps us to look at anything here and now, which is not history but itihas. As here in this same premises, Thakur Jagdeep Singh explained this term, why itihas is different from history. I think in the beginning, very beginning, these points, these encapsulated sentences are enough for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your lecture. Next, I would like to invite
a very warm greeting to my distinguished speakers, Dr. Gautam. A very difficult task has been assigned to me to give presidential address. Just to begin with the artist, I will call you artist Gautamji. You started very well. A very elaborate, enlightening introduction to the entire theme of the seminar. You covered everything, be it myth, be it literature or history. And the best part that I liked, he started saying that poets are seers. I think all creative artists are seers, and they need a vision to express through their respective art form. And how myth, history, literature, they all become the very frame, I would say. Especially myth becomes that desired frame, that symbol, to portray the vision that the seeker, the poet, the seer or the artist is looking for, how to convey. You put it beautifully. It was very well said, Gautam.